Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Vampire YGO here again with another Dogmatika deck profile. This one is Dogmatika Artifact. It is the pretty much hash between the two, and I've been testing it for a while as well online. Not as much as the other one, just more for fun and just to see how the deck could perform with the two packages, because they're both, obviously OP. And so far it's been working really well online. It's not as good as the previous profile where I did the Dogmatika Shadal Invoked, but it is still fun. It is still something that I'm working on, but again, it is more for fun, and I'm still like messing with the ratios and messing with the trap ratios. So again, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, or if you dislike or have any feedback, please let me know down in the comments section. I would like to know why. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, just like the prior profile, we have 3 Dogmatika Ecclesia. She is, if you're running any Dogmatika deck where you're running Dogmatika as your main profile, you want 3 of her. Recently, I've seen the rumor on Facebook. A lot of the groups are talking about is Ecclesia Ray from Sky Strikers, just from a different time period. If you look at the features, it's kind of similar, but I can see what people say that, but I'm not sure. But yeah, 3, and then we have the 2 Fleur-de-Lis, just like before as well, searchable, and so you don't want to see it like too much. There's plenty of ways to search this card, so 2 is good, but the only reason you want the second is because, if you continue to grind, you want to have another one, possibly for a follow-up turn or something. And then the 1 Maximus. In the previous profile, I had 2 Maximus because I was running the Pot of Desires. In this deck, I am running different search power, so the 1 Maximus is fine again because it is extremely easy to search in this deck. And the Winda combo is no longer as important because you have the artifact package to kind of make up for that. Obviously, just completely locking out them from their extra deck or banishing in general. And then, so yeah, 1, and then stick with 2 for that. Man, Fleur-de-Lis looks freaking fire. And then starting with the artifact package, we have the 1 Moral Tag and the 2 Artifact Scythe. Moral Tag is an on-field destruction, and then you have Scythe, which obviously is probably the best artifact card, not including Lancia as a hand trap, locking out the opponent's extra deck, and 2, just in case 1, doesn't work, or if something, goes wrong, or if you have to use it again, the double Scythe I found is good. I originally was testing 1, but I like 2 better. And then, 3 Lancia, so why would you not? Because it is the artifact deck, and again, I feel like it is one of the top 3 hand traps right now. Shuts down, I would say again, like the prior one, about like 85% of the decks, and is really good against road decks currently, in my opinion. But yeah, 3 Lancia, stop the banish, and then just like before as well, we have the 3 Ash covering multiple bases, just a really powerful hand trap. So yeah, 3. That's the end of the monster, so on to the spells. We'll have, just like before, it's your Rhoda / get the extra effect from whichever monster you pitch to the graveyard from the extra deck. So it's the double effect plus the search, and then you pretty much get everything rolling, but it does lock you again out of the extra deck. So make sure you do what you need to do beforehand. And then 3. And then this is the draw power that I have switched to versus the Pot of Desires. So the reason, I know it is a little bit debatable, but I did try the Desires first, and I just kind of had in my head like the extra deck isn't as important in this deck, and you can just run 3 of the Nadir / Dogmatika targets, so that way you'll still have majority of a chance of having those in there. But I've tested the Extravagance for the last 2 weeks instead in this deck, and it's mostly been online, but it is a lot better in my opinion than the Desires. You get the draw, and then if whatever you banished, most of the time you're only really going to use 1 of these throughout the game. You never really see 2. By that time you've already taken complete control of the game if you get what you need. And then you have the 3 Dark Ruler or more. I just feel like most decks, especially decks that have a fear against going second, I feel like a lot of most decks that I play, I would main deck Dark Ruler or more nowadays, just based on how the boards are being set up. Winda, Dragonlink, things like that. And then again, don't want to get caught against something like Mystic Mine and not having the out and having to just scoop that game. And just in case, you'd rather have at least something to get in there. And again, it does come at random times, but every once in a while you top deck it when you need it, and you know, it always comes in handy. Whenever you see it, you're not mad. One Schism, again, if I had to, I would probably run 2. I know in the previous profile with the Desires, I would run 2, but this one, maybe. And then the 1 Imperial Order. There's just different ways to locking out. You have the Summon Limit, the Imperial Order, you have the Artifact packages, plus the Winda, you know, and the Dogmatika punishments. There's just multiple things that this deck does to stop the opponent from being able to pretty much do anything related to summoning. And then you have the 3 Trap Trick. Multiple Trap Trick target traps in this deck. Not the previous 2, but the Trap Trick is awesome, and you know, it's just in basically the extra copy and gets you what you need depending on what you need at the time. If you don't get, like, say you didn't get to get the punishments, this can be your punishments, or the, you know, main target that you're going to go for the Trap Trick is the Artifact Sanctum if you didn't get it. And then we have the 2 punishment. Again, Trap Trick target, amazing. And then we have the, you know, kind of what I went off of out of Pack's profile with the traps. I was running like the Solemns instead just to kind of test, but I put Witch's Strike in here instead over the past 2 weeks, and it has been insane. It is not, you know, a card that you use always or that comes up often, but if they try to negate the summon of your, like, use Artifact Sanctum and they try to negate the summon of your Scythe, Witch's Strike, or Trap Trick into Witch's Strike, because it is Trap Trickable, so, you know, it just can catch them off guard. It is an extremely powerful trap card right now, and I do feel that it is more on the underrated side, but decks that run Trap Trick and or decks that interact on your opponent's turn, because Schism, Artifact Sanctum, there's multiple things that you can do on your turn that they can negate still, that this card can easily go off of, or if you have, like I said, an extra Trap Trick, you can just wait and then activate that. And then we have the 3 Sanctum. You're not mad if you open on this as well. Amazing card. This is what you're trapped does. Allows you to special summon your artifact from your deck. And the same thing, they all have the destruction effect that if they're destroyed on the field, they get the extra as well. But this one is amazing, again, and your Trap Trick target. And it's pretty much just like a chamber with all of the artifacts kind of like locked up in some sort of sanctum. And the last for the main deck and the traps, let's get the hollow in the middle. We have the 3 Summon Limit again. Again, if you don't get the Winda on the field, it is not as detrimental, and you I feel like I just see this card all the time, especially with the Extravagance. Drawn to the Summon Limit a good amount of time, but it is ridiculous. It's just, you know, lock them up in multiple ways. Going first, you're usually going to take game 1 if they don't have like multiple ways of stopping you on that turn there, or if they don't, like, you know, specifically counter a Dogmatika control deck in that point there. But yeah, 3 of those, and then off to the extra. So the extra is not fully complete just because I don't have 3s of some of them, but I wanted to just mention what I would be. We have the 1 access code, only link that we run in this one. We have the Artifact Durandal, just because, you know, it comes up every once in a while, but not very often at all. Same thing with this, not very often at all, but it does happen, and it is good to like help you, you know, finish the game if you can. Go into this on your second turn, like if you have multiple of the artifacts on board. So these 3, don't really care if you get rid of them with the Extrav either. And then if I had 3 of these, I would be running 3 of the Adignister Wind Pegasus, and then you want 3 Intis, and then I would say 1 Titanclad is still fine, not a super big deal if this one gets banished from the Extrav. I would have 2 App Cologne instead of 1, and then I would keep the 1 Construct. And then when it came to the Windas, I would run 3 Windas. I actually just sold my other Duelist Alliance one, so that's the only reason I have 2 now. But in the previous profile, you would definitely, 2 is perfect, but 3 for the extra purposes in this one, and that would be it for the extra deck. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Again, I would appreciate the feedback. Please leave a like or subscribe if you're interested for more videos. I have been, you know, really busy and just kind of you know, off and on with the spreads of profiles that I post, and I have a decent amount that I have coming up now that I'm going to post for May. And one of the main that I'm really excited about is I cannot wait for the new Drytron support as well. But yeah, see y'all later. Let me know what y'all think, and have a good night.